dedicated to the transformation of the whole person by spiritual and catechetical formation, academic rigor, pursuit of excellence, and by advocating the Catholic worldview which recognizes that all knowledge is illuminated by the light of faith. Period. If you're not doing that as a coach, don't coach. We'll find somebody else. You can't do that? Don't coach. We'll find somebody else. God needs warriors. We need people who are actually going to do what they're supposed to do. Who are actually going to live the way they're supposed to live. Who are actually going to teach and preach the way they're supposed to. And it's hard, I know. I'm no saint. I would curse when I struck out. I threw the bat. I didn't run him out. I chewed tobacco. I had a big fatty in my rookie card. My mom lit me up. I'm serious. Look at my rookie card. It's worth about 15 cents. I'm a big fatty. So I'm no saint. But I know what the impact you can have. I know what Coach did for me. My coaches did for me. I mean, the things that he said to me, I live that. Show me who you're running with. I'll tell you what you are. You're running with donkeys, you're going to be a donkey. You're running with stallions, you're going to be a stallion. Choose your friends wisely, starting with the Almighty, number one. Always make good decisions. 5 worst words. What are they? Everybody know? Everybody's doing it, right? What's the worst word? What do you guys think? Huh? Can't. That's not a bad word. That's a bad word, but not as bad as I. Me, I. What's in it for me? Right? What's the best word if that's the worst word? We. Absolutely. Little things. Little things. A culture. Breed a culture of us. We. Not me. Not I. What? Not the 2 worst words. I quit. I can't. I won't. Do you understand? It's an entire philosophy of spirituality. It's built into the game. And this is why. How much time do I have, Coach? Okay. You said plenty. Oh my God, this is really important stuff. Sports are built to teach the lessons of life. Right? We know that. Failure. Frustration. What else? Failure. Well, let's talk about failure first. Failure. Failure. What a lesson in life. Some of the best salesmen succeed 20% of the time. They're millionaires. And well, the 3 out of 10 guys, 3 or 10 in the big league will be a multi-millionaire. 2 for 10 in life insurance, and you'll own the world. Do you understand? It's learning to handle failure. Learning to handle success. Rebecca talked about it. You guys, if you haven't seen that, what is it called? We Are the Game, or Fear for the Game, or what was it called? When the Game Stands Tall. I cried like a baby. I was on a plane watching it on the United. I'll never forget it. I'm like down through it. I'm on United Airlines. I'm going, oh, that sounds like an interesting movie. Yeah, that's Catholic. You know, we actually tracked that team. They came down and they beat us 49-0. Servite. For the state championship. And I was ticked. They buried us. My son was a senior. I'm like, dang, these guys are recruiting illegally. These guys are a bunch of They're the Catholics I hate. Those are the ones. And I'm watching when the game stands tall, and I'm like bawling. We were walking by the students. They kept walking by me going, "Are you okay, Mr. Miller?" "Yeah, I'm just fine. It's no problem." I'm serious. I was repenting. I was moved. And I was like, "Dagnabbit." Our coach actually went up and studied under this guy. That's how unbelievable they are. If you haven't seen it, you got to see it. Your team has to see it. You want to build a culture? Press the button and sit back and let it happen. Am I right? Oh my God, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It is so moving. I cannot believe they made a movie and we haven't seen it. It should be on every Catholic school. They should be playing it in the cafeteria. It should be on their headphones. It should be everywhere. How about it? It's ridiculous. It is why we play the game. It is why you do what you do. It gives you a snapshot into, God, dog it, this is what I want to do. This is why I'm doing this. All right. There's so much fear. There's so much to talk about. But I need a pen for this thing. Because I have to also talk about the greatest game. Is there a marker? Okay, here we go. There's a lot of lessons of life. I wasn't going to talk about this, but I got it now. This is home. This is what is this?
Home plate.
All right. What is it? What do you call it?
Home plate.
Home plate. All right. Why is it called home plate? Okay, first base, second base, third base, fourth base. First base, second base, third base, scoring base. Why home plate? Where you started. What does it look like? It looks like, what does it look like? A house, right? It looks like what? It looks like home, absolutely. That's why they call it home plate. That's why baseball is the greatest game of all time. That's why. Church, home, right? What else about baseball is amazing? So let me ask you a question. Who's a baseball coach here? Any baseball coaches? Softball, doesn't matter. All right, what's your name? Stand up. Laney, stand up. Okay, how wide is home plate? Anybody know? Laney, want to help Laney? 17 inches. Thank you very much. What's your name, sir?
Darrell.
You're a baseball coach, aren't you?
I'm an umpire.
You're an umpire. Oh my God. Praise the Lord. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? You're an umpire?
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to be you. I wanted to be an umpire. I thought I'd never be good enough to be a baseball player. I wanted to be an umpire. Okay, so this is important. What's your name, sir?
Darrell.
Come on, stand up, Darrell. He's almost like Darrell. Thank you very much. 17 inches. All right, so Darren, let me ask you a question. You're umpiring in Little League, okay? How wide is the plate in Little League?
17 inches.
Oh, good answer. Good man. All right. Now, we're stepping it up. You're not done. We're stepping it up a level, Darren. You're umpiring in high school. How wide is the plate in high school? 17 inches. Are you kidding me?
No.
Absolutely not. Wow, that's amazing. Golly. Moses. 17 inches. So in Little League? What about Pony League? Same. Pony League. High school. Okay, here's a curveball for you. How about college? Oh, it's the same in college. All right. Let me ask you, is it the same in women's softball? How wide is the plate in women's softball? It's 17 inches. Absolutely. You're right. All right, and finally, the last question. How wide is the plate in professional baseball? 17 inches. Thank you very much, Darren. Give him a hand. 17 inches. Isn't that amazing?
Unless Eric Gregg.
Excuse me?
Unless Eric Gregg.
Unless Eric Gregg, yeah. God rest his soul. Eric Gregg, do you remember Eric Gregg? So, but his strike zone, so let's talk about that. That's another half hour. We're not going to stay all day. Okay, but we're going to talk about Darren one more time. All right? So Darren, as an umpire, okay? Let me ask you something. Does the ball have to cross over the plate to be a strike?
Any part of the ball does.
Some part of the ball has to pass over the home plate to be a strike. Okay. Okay, so if you're a home plate umpire, Darren, what are the variables on a strike besides passing over home plate?
The honest answer?
Yeah. No. What are the variables? No, the variables are where do you adjust? Do you adjust? Does the plate get wider? I mean, we make it a little bit wider for the kids that can't throw strikes when they're younger. We get that, but it doesn't get wider than 17 inches, does it? So when you're umpiring, are you if let's see who's here? I'm looking for somebody. You in the green? Yep. Come here. There we go. All right. Praise the Lord. All right, Ron, stand up. Okay. All right, you guys stand next to each other. Get in your baseball stance. All right. Is their strike zone any different?
Yes.
Why? Where is it different?
The height.
The height. So where's the adjustment made when you're calling balls and strikes?
The taller the person, the higher the strike zone.
And the smaller the person, the...
Lower.
Thank you. Appreciate it. What other calls do you make if you're a base umpire?
Out or safe.
Out or safe? What else? Fair.
Foul.
Foul. Thank you. All right, so Darren, thank you. Let's give him a round of applause. So your mission this year is to teach what he just said, but in life. Is it a strike or is it a ball? Is it fair or is it foul? Is it right or is it wrong? Teach the virtues of life. It doesn't change. 17 inches doesn't change. From the professional level to the Little League level, truth never changes. Do we got that?
Yeah.
We don't give in to the world. We don't give in to what everyone else says. Everybody else is doing it, not us. Because it's fair or it's foul. It's good or it's bad. Right? We want to get umpires, good umpires. And starting with the umpire-in-chief, all of our priests, all the ones that are in the trenches, our wives, our husbands, their parents, educate them first. We want to make good umpires, people. That's what we want to use sports to do. The lessons of life. You got to use every means necessary to teach the lessons of life. What happens between the lines is really important, but don't let anything that happens outside the lines influence what happens inside the lines. Right? Or disqualify you. Who said that? You guys remember who said that? I'll never let anything that happens outside the lines disqualify me or influence what goes on inside the lines. Hall of Famer. Left-handed pitcher for the Dodgers. Sandy Koufax. Pretty good guy, huh? A lot of character. Don't let anything that happens outside the lines influence what happens inside the lines and vice versa. Hey, the game, leave it in between the lines. Game's over. Let's go. Don't take it home with us. Beat up our little sister and brother, our wives, uncles, husbands. It's done. Leave it there. Right? Lesson of life. You don't take work home, and you don't take home to work. Lesson of life. Right? Right? So we have, those are the little lessons I encourage you to all teach. So, I don't want to make a career out of this, but do you guys get it? Yep. You guys have been preached to all day. I'm not done yet. Why is this important? Satan and his angels have set their sights on you and I in a war that we are not even aware of. Revelation chapter 12, go through it, go read it yourself. It's really interesting about how Satan was waging a war against basically Mary, and he couldn't get to Mary or her child, which is Jesus, but he waged war against all of her offspring. We're her offspring. We're in direct fight. I had a hard time getting here, by the way. Every time I'm supposed to speak, get canceled, meeting comes up, this happens, that happens. My son got an ear infection. I mean, you know what? I mean, everything happens right before I get on a plane to come and talk about Christ. My family's flying out tomorrow. Something will happen. It'll get messed up because we're under attack. Because we're going to preach. I'm going to preach the gospel of Christ. He doesn't want you to hear this. So you're sitting there, you can't even listen to me right now. You're going, oh, I don't like this guy, he's black. Oh, he's yelling at me. He's making me feel bad because I'm not Catholic. I didn't go to confess. No, get it out of your system. No, I'm just being real with you. I'm being honest with you. Get it out. Just open up your mind. Be a good umpire. Teach others to be good umpires. It's not rocket science. Very simple, right? But use the sport. Use your own personal creativity. Use your own credo. Come up with your own deal. I got to read a couple things from Pope Francis. I was just, I'm not some bozo that fell out of the sky that makes simple stories. I mean, I've been invited by Pope John Paul II and the Vatican Lay Association to actually be part of this sports convocation. They invited little old Darrell Miller. I don't know how I got invited, but they must have heard that I know something, or I've been known something. So what we've come up with, kind of interesting, this group of scholars that actually talk about the beginning of sports. Talk about sports, education, and faith. Get the book. Sport, an educational and pastoral challenge. This is for the church, the whole church, printed in like 40 different languages or whatever they do at the Vatican. I've gone to the Vatican to be part of this. I was just part of the Lay Association of the Faithful. We did a big convention on educating coaches this last May. I was part of that. Not bragging. Just I'm not stiff, okay? I'm not a bozo. I'm not an entertainer. You know, I really believe this stuff. I've been in the trenches doing what you're doing at the same level with youth. I know it can be done. I know it can be done. And the greatest, I think, a really cool book that just came out the other day or a couple weeks ago, Living the Eucharist Through Sports by a guy named James Penrice.